and the Transurfing Curious. My name is Renee Garcia, guys, and this is Transurfing TV. And today on Transurfing TV, I am going to talk about snowballing your progress towards an intention, towards a goal, towards an end frame, because that's really where more of what we want to have as human beings exists, right? Is in the products that our success creates. And in order to have more of what it is that you want, you have to see more progress or see more success. So today actually marks the 5th anniversary of the very, very first day that I made a post on Instagram with my new Instagram account. I had no social media leading up to this time, but I started the reality_transurfing Instagram account, and I decided that I was going to become a vessel to bring this knowledge to the world. And there were virtually no transurfing resources at all. We didn't even have reality transurfing steps 1 through 5 yet. What we had was these amazing books. These are the books that I learned off of. The volume of 5. This is kind of like my holy grail of knowledge, but this is what we had. And these were extremely expensive because they were out of print and first edition. I ended up paying almost $1,200, if you can believe that, for these 5 paperback books. And there was no resources online. There were no Facebook groups. There were no courses, there was no community, there was nothing really. It was a vast wasteland of transurfing nothingness. And I decided 5 years ago that I was going to bring it to the world and start off on this path to this new end frame, which I can say wholeheartedly I have achieved today, right? 5 years later, I've achieved it. Now, it doesn't mean that I am going to stop doing what I'm doing, but I have seen it to the point of where I began, right? What I wanted to see happen. And for the first couple of years, 3 years, 2 years, I was really struggling with seeing progress. I didn't know what steps to take. Again, I was a complete newbie to social media. I didn't even have a Facebook account. I didn't have any sort of community, any following. Transurfing TV didn't exist, none of this. And I didn't know what to do. And a lot of times I gave up. I would start and I would try to do things and make progress, wouldn't see any, so I would become frustrated and I would log out of the entire thing for like a few months, and then I would get down that road and think, God, what happened to my calling? What happened to this intention? And I would jump back in. Well, it wasn't until about the last 2 years that I really started to see some progress. And why I started to see some progress is because I followed these 5 things here and started to do this thing that I have really adopted in my mind as, when you see that snowball rolling down the hill, gaining momentum, this is me acknowledging that after this first step, there's been, consistent progress forward and upward and momentum building and all of my results exponentially increasing. So this is exactly how we get what we want in our realities, is we create a product that is a result of our progress or our success, and this product is what we want, right? And it's created by an exponential evolution of results, of success, of you achieving what it is that you set out to achieve. So I can wholeheartedly say that I did it, right? I did it, and this is exactly what I did. Now, for those of you that are not seeing the results that you want in your realities, or you're not making headway towards a goal, or you're still feeling as though you're not successful in whatever it is you're doing, I'm going to absolutely give you my top tricks and tips to tune into to see your evolution take off, right? To see yourself start to snowball or snowballing towards that end frame. Before I get started, remember to like this video and subscribe to Transurfing TV and comment below. Ask me your questions. I try to answer every single comment on this channel. So if you have any questions about what it is I'm talking about, definitely put it in the comment section below and I will do my best to respond. Join us on the Facebook group, International Transurfing Institute Facebook group, and the courses Reality 2.0 and Tufty 2.0 down below. Check them out. Okay, so this is a visual that I have in my mind, both for the long term and for the short term, because reality really is like the ocean, right? Sometimes the waves come in bigger and more abundantly, and sometimes the sea is a little more calm, right? And when you hit one of those waves with your thoughts and your energy and your actions, and you're starting to see results in your reality, bringing you what it is that is going to help you achieve your intention. It is about acknowledging that you've hit one of those waves. Now, this could be the wave of success, or it could simply just be a wave of progress, right? Your external environment bringing you more of what you need that you can fuse together with to see more results in that moment. So for me, I'm looking for these smaller waves that come in where a lot of activity happens all at once, right? This could be a bunch of people reaching out to me, wanting to collaborate. This could be people reaching out to me wanting to help. This could be ideas coming into my mind of different things that I could do, videos or courses, whatever it is that is going to help fuel my progress towards that end frame. And anything else that my world has to offer me. This is also my long term, right? I want to snowball or catch those waves long term, but I also want to take advantage when the situation sort of presents itself to me in a smaller context of what I can do, let's say in my day or in my week, to see more progress towards that end frame. So again, professionally, this is huge. This is a good way to get yourself moving quickly towards that end frame. This could also be seen with creativity, your creative outlets, different things that you want to make or build or create. Me doing Transurfing TV, this is exactly my formula, right? My very, very first step was that first video, and obviously look at me now, right? This could be also you setting the intention that you are going to start a new habit for yourself, maybe more self-care and self-love, maybe a better connection with the alternative space, maybe expanding on your reality transurfing practice. This is you taking the first step and then doing what you can do in the moment, that you can do whatever it is you need to do to see the thing actually start to create results in your reality. So 5 easy steps here, and these are super easy, and it is about getting yourself again into the habitual practice of doing these things until you see your results, right? Now, again, this is not something that you do for a day or a week or even a month and then become frustrated with it and decide that it's not working for you. It absolutely will work if you stick to it. This formula is exactly what I am doing to achieve a lot of different results in my life, not just Transurfing TV, not just Transurfing, but pretty much every single aspect of my life. This is my formula. So step one, consistent energy. This is about you firmly setting your intention and then understanding the value of taking consistent steps towards that goal without stopping. Now, of course, you can take breaks and all that kind of stuff, but getting back on that path and remaining in a position to constantly and consistently fuel whatever it is that you intend to have with your energy. This is where most people sort of fall off, is they don't see results, so they feel as though their energy is all going to nothing. This is like the classic, person signing up for a gym membership on January 1st. They go to the gym for a week or two, then they're like, I'm not seeing this work, so then they don't go to the gym. I heard some crazy statistic that a lot of people sign up for a gym membership January 1st and they don't ever show up for the rest of the year beyond the first week. So this is sort of like human nature, right? You don't see results, so you give up. But here, if you just set the intention to give whatever it is you are doing consistent energy without stopping until you see results, this is a golden ticket. You will see results, but consistent energy is absolutely the first step. 2, outer intention. When I started to do this with Transurfing 5 years ago, I had no idea how much outer intention was going to play a role in my success. And I will be the first to admit, for the first couple of years, it was like pure inner intention. I didn't know what to do, so I just did whatever I could think to do really hard and really aggressively, right? And oftentimes my results would not be very good, or they would just dissolve in front of my very eyes. Like, I opened a Facebook profile and got a lot of people to friend me, and I started talking about Transurfing, but I grew the thing too big and too fast, and Facebook shut it down, right? So all of that energy just sort of dissipated into the alternative space. And it wasn't until a couple years later that I tried it again, but I did it with outer intention and actually saw the results, which is what the Transurfing Institute Facebook group is now. So outer intention is going to be a huge part of you getting your snowball on, learning to tune in to what your world is offering you when it presents itself to you, and taking that as your opportunity to act. This is going to be energetically way more efficient and way more effective than you doing it on your own, and it's going to create much better results for you. So really gaining a firm understanding of outer intention is absolutely key. I'm going to put a video link below, Harvesting Outer Intention. I think this will definitely help you if you are still curious as to what I'm talking about with outer intention helping you to achieve results. 3, the alternatives flow. So again, when I started doing this, I was not in a flow state at all. I was setting all of my movements down paths that I deemed the right or wrong ones for me, and retracting myself from certain things. Oh, this isn't going to work. I think this will work. The easiest thing to do is to step back and really let your world show you the way. And I know this seems a little bit ambiguous when you are not in the practice of doing this, so I'll give you a little bit of an example here. let's say that in the beginning, I really didn't know how to go forward with any of this, and I would try things like setting up seminars that nobody would show up to, or reaching out to people that weren't interested. Well, the alternatives flow stepping in is, again, my world presenting to me something that I can do, and me simply answering that call. Now, when I answer that call, it takes me down the river a little bit, where then something else presents itself to me, and I simply answer that call. And then that takes me to another event, or another opportunity, or another person. Alternatives flow and outer intention are really just one and the same thing. Outer intention is the force that brings you what you need, and the flow is the direction that you move in when you are in fact harvesting outer intention. It's a little bit advanced transurfing, but again, if you want to see results, this is absolutely the way to do it. 4, actions, thoughts, and frequency. Okay, so this is a big one. This one really is like, this is my ticket to what it is that I want. I take that first step. I continue to fuel whatever it is I'm doing with consistent energy. I look for outer intention to help me. I make certain that I am in the alternatives flow, going with the direction that my world is taking me, the path of least resistance, and making sure that my actions, thoughts, and frequency are all tuned to that final frame, right? This is how I have achieved in just 2 years a lot more success than I did the previous 3 years. Is my action, my thoughts, and my frequency were always sort of going up and down. Tuning my actions, thoughts, and frequency to that end frame, to that goal, and making certain that every single day, this is like thought forms, right? If you haven't read the Tufte book, this is a big one. This is you returning back every single day, every single moment, to what you can do, what action you can take, how the future version of yourself would think in this moment, right? So all I'm doing is imagining what that future version of myself that has already accomplished that goal or seen the results, how that version of me thinks, and I'm thinking that way right now. Same with frequency. What is the frequency of that future version of myself that has already seen the results or achieved the goal? And tuning my frequency to match that future version of myself. This is huge. 5, and this is the final step, trusting my world. This is a big one. This is what was really causing me a lot of wasted energy in that first 3 years of doing this. I was not trusting my world. I was continually doubting, maybe I'm not the person for this. This is too hard. I think maybe I made a wrong choice. I don't have the tools. I don't have the resources. Again, I didn't have any assistance. I didn't have any social media accounts. It started with one single post on Instagram 5 years ago. And for the first 3 years, I really mistrusted my world. I did not assume that this version of reality did in fact exist. And it wasn't until the last 2 years that I finally decided, you know what? I'm just gonna trust that my world absolutely knows how I can see myself from point A to point B, and I'm gonna go with it, right? I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna trust my world. I'm gonna trust what outer intention is bringing. I'm gonna trust the alternatives flow. All I need to do is show up, answer that call, bring consistent energy, and make certain that my actions, thoughts, and frequency are in fact in line with that end frame. And look at me now, guys. I did it 5 years later. I have accomplished my goal. Now, this doesn't mean that I'm giving up. I am now going to just do this bigger and better, right? I'm going to keep going. I have some new goals, new numbers, new benchmarks that I want to hit, but more or less, I'm simply going to continue doing what I'm doing because, again, this goal was specifically intended for me, in line with my heart and mind coordination. And even though I have achieved the results that I wanted to achieve, I still love it, and I'm still going to continue doing it, and I'm still going to continue snowballing this MF and see how big I can actually how big I can actually take it. It's going to be a blast. So let me know what your thoughts are in this video, everybody. Are you doing these things? Are you struggling to see progress towards your goals or your intentions or your endeavors? And which of these could you tap into more so today to see the results you need to get your reality snowballing towards your results? Thank you so much for watching, everybody, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye, guys.